fellow viewers, Reaper here with another YouTube video. So last video we were talking about how resources work, and the video beforehand I believe it was about the mods. So this one is basically how your Warframe differentials of differences between like Loki and Loki Prime, so on and so forth. We'll also be covering Sentinels, which this is also a Sentinel, or I guess I should say companions, because a crew brew is also considered as a companion. And we'll also cover how this works. And yeah, for the most part, this entire area will be covered within 3 videos. So anyways, let's go ahead and start with the prime gear. Okay, so let's say, okay, I'm trying to use a okay, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure if I have a non-prime of something, because normally if I get a prime Warframe, I tend to keep just the prime Warframe itself. But let's say the ash. So you see the ash right here. You can see over here on the right hand corner. Hold on, actually better yet, there's a better way to do this. So I'm going to select my ash prime. Alright, and then I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to go right back down to ash. Now if I were to select this other ash, I'm losing 25 extra shield and quite a bit of armor, because ash prime you have 125 shield, 100 power, 100 health, or 150 health, and then 150 armor. The normal ash, which the one you're currently looking at, has only 100 shield, 100 power, 150 health, and 65 armor. So of course the ash prime has better stats. Now keep in mind, prime is better. It is absolutely better. Because as you can see here, one, they look glorious, which everybody, you know, late game, when you become an in-game player, cosmetics, it's all about fashion frame and da-da-da-da-da, but this video isn't about fashion, if that makes sense. So, anyways, there's the difference between your frames, because there's armor difference, health difference, power difference, so on and so forth. There can be so many differences, so you got to look at each individual frame and, you know, debate. Warframe Wiki is pretty good on seeing the stats and all that. So it's the same thing with all Prime gear pretty much. So like, and there's also Wraith gear, so and Sentinel gear, but we're working with Prime first, okay? And then we'll cover I guess Sentinel. But yeah, so every Prime gear that I get is better, or is basically the best out of all of the gear in the game. However, there are some Wraith gear, and a lot of it is argumentative. Like, it's more or less your playstyle. Now, Vandal weapons, they're rare weapons. They are damn good weapons. Because, I mean, for instance, this weapon right here. Look at that magnetic. That magnetic is, or my bad, the electricity. The electricity is 550. Granted, it's maxed out and probably modded up, but as you can see, this is all the mods I have on it. So if I want, I could probably get that way higher than it is now. Cause see, boom, up to 800, and since it's a status weapon, you're gonna want to have status on it. But let's see. I guess we can do a viral build. So boom, now we're doing magnetic, or radiation, or we can do a split chamber, of course, because more DPS. That's just straight electricity, so now it's going to be even more damage rating. So let's do straight electricity. Boom, 3000 electricity. So anyways, you guys can see my point. Whenever it's not like a normal weapon, for instance, like just the Vandal, or not the Vandal, but just the Quanta, it's not going to be as good as this, because the Vandal's going to be better than the Quanta. However, I'm not quite sure in comparison of Vandal and Prime gear, because I don't think they have a Snipertron Prime or anything like that. I'm pretty sure they don't. These are mainly Vandal weapons. Like, which Vandal is still really good. There's also Wraith weapons, and it's always going to be better than the stock weapon. So like, for instance, the Ignis Wraith. That's like a flamethrower, but keep in mind there's also just the Ignis. That's just a common flamethrower. Now, the Ignis Wraith is the Ignis boosted with better stats. So, I don't want that. because I don't want to like launch a mission and not have my handy dandy weapon. But yeah, that goes with all your weapons. So, sentient weapons. The way you earn these weapons, you have to be at least master rank 12 plus. But the way you earn these is you get max standing in here, which you do missions and all that for them, but they're all the way down here. So, when you hit master rank 12, you can get the Telius Boltes, Telius AK Bolto, and then the Telius Boltor. These are arcane distillers, but we'll cover sentiments later. Basically, these are better than just the Boltor. Well, the Telius Boltor is better, of course, because it has boosted stats, and not only that, but it also gives you a special perk. For instance, when you slide with this whole huge whirlwind just comes out. It's one of the best PvP weapons because you can put so many mods onto it. Like, it's just really insane because you can like just crit somebody and they're like sitting with like 500 and some health and they go down to like no health, you know. So I mean, it is a really good weapon, but keep in mind master rank 12 plus for any of these weapons. Now, there is also master rank locks for prime gears, such as the Galatine Prime. You got to be at a certain master rank to receive or to be able to use that one itself, and I think it's like 13 or 14, maybe 15. I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while, but a lot of your weapons do have master rank locks, so it is vital for you to bring that master rank up. Now, the way master rank itself works, like, you get rank bonuses. Granted, I don't remember how you look at your rank bonuses, but yeah, you get more health, more shield, and more armor, pretty much. But let's talk about companions. Companions are basically your pets. Each companion does their own job, for say. Like this guy, he gives me overshields, and he can pick up gear and loot and all that. That way I'm not running around picking everything up. Companions are very valuable, in my opinion, because the aspect of a companion alone, it's pretty awesome. Because a lot of people try to solo and they don't have friends. Here's your first friend. Now, a companion can be anywhere from a sentinel to a dog, or a cat, or a charger, which a charger is basically an infested dog. So there's those different kind of options. But here's a prime example of a differentials between a prime and a non-prime. So as you can see, the Helios is right here. Well, right here is the Helios Prime. For one, he looks better. For two, he has a lot of boost. So if I were to grab the Helios Prime, he has like 250 health and of course more armor. Everything else is 100, but this one only has 50 armor. Now, if we look back at this one has 100 armor. So, as I said, each one of these have its own special area. Like, it's boosted in its own special way. Trying to think. I think I pretty much covered all of that in this one. Oh yeah. I was going to tell you about this part. All right, so the way this works, this is a little tricky. Now there's stasis. All right, Panstain is my charger pet, and then Sophia is my dog. Now, if you don't want them to be out roaming your ship and also getting hurt and so on and so forth, then you put them into stasis, and they're just basically hanging out, sleeping. It's basically a long dirt nap. But they're not dead. Don't get me wrong. They're not dead. They're just in stasis, and it takes about 3 hours for them to come out. Do not rush it with Plat. Just be patient. That is my dog, Sophia. And here is my charger pet, Panstain. So, you can have all these pets, but you only get 3 chamber spots. So the way I normally do it is 1 for each race, which there's only a charger, a crew brew, and I have not got my Kavat yet. Now, in order to do breeding, you need to have an egg, an incubation power core, and have an open stasis slot. Oh, and no active pets. You can't have any pets right there. You got to put them into stasis before you make another one. Now, differentials between them is each one of them requires their own. Now, if you just get an egg and get all the requirements right there, you're going to get a dog. Now, if you're playing later on, if you have a cyst on your neck and you inject it into the egg, you're going to get a charger. If that one you have to do scans and so on and so forth. But yeah, that's how you do the differentials between the pets. I think that pretty much covers it for this video. I think the next YouTube video will probably be on relics or I haven't quite decided yet, but probably relics or how clan or how to use chat or so on and so forth. Anywho, without further ado, thank you guys for watching this special premiere, and you guys have a lovely day. Reaper out.